In this video, we'll talk about Balikbayan Complete Travel Guide to the Philippines. So Balikbayans, I'm referring to former Filipinos, foreign spouse, and children of Filipinos. So how to plan for your vacation in the Philippines. First, we'll talk about flights. There are plenty of flights available. There is no more arrival capacity limit like before in the Philippines. Although airfares are higher than usual, you can blame that to fuel prices, hikes, and flight demands. If you want to get your flights cheaper, of course, you have to book months and months in advance. While if you're flying for Christmas, December, peak season, mahal talaga. While there are popular airlines for Balikbayans, especially those coming from the USA, if you guys are looking for airlines, there is Philippine Airlines if you want a direct flight. Ayan, direct flight. There is also layovers in some countries for airlines like JAL. ANA, yan, there's a layover in Japan. And don't worry, there is no requirements for layover in Japan. Asiana, there's Korean Air, Cathay Pacific. Yan, layover in Hong Kong and Korea, there are no requirements to follow. Nada. As long as it's just a layover lang, transit, you stay in the same airport. While if you want to tour the world, there is Qatar Airways. Yan, you transit in Doha, Qatar, there is no requirements as well. So there are many options for your airlines. While I would suggest to please avoid EVA Air. EVA Air, if you're coming from other countries, like for example USA, there's a layover in Taiwan. Naku po, Taiwan has been closed for transit for a very long time, since last year pa. And if chances are, if you're going to buy their tickets and meron pa silang restriction, your flight will be canceled, tapos mag-refund ka, tapos bibili ka na naman ng bago sa ibang airline. It's such a hassle. So I would suggest to avoid booking flights with layover in Taiwan. Now, book direct with the airline and avoid third-party sites because in cases where there is changes on your flight, you will be accommodated by the airline kahit nasa airport ka na. Pero if you book with a third-party site, then the airline will not help you. Dun ka talaga sa third-party site. Moving forward, let's know about the Philippines entry rules. That's what your second step would be. And don't worry, this will not be complicated. This is not a big hassle. And the Philippine entry rules does not change every week like before. If you remember before, halos every week there is a change. But now, hindi na po. The Philippines has very maluwag. It's very loose, very relaxed restrictions. The first is vaccination is still a must. The IATF, the national government, still wants all foreign nationals to be fully vaccinated before they can enter the Philippines. This applies to all travelers 12 years old and above. Again, vax is still a must po. If you have kids under 12, okay lang hindi sila vaccinated as long as they're traveling with fully vaccinated parents or guardian. Now, what vax proof is accepted? Government issued vaccination proof are accepted. They are not so strict with Balikbayans kasi parang Filipino na din, di ba? Former Filipino nga. And white CDC card is totally accepted. You can use that. While unvaccinated former Filipinos na nanonood, if you're going to travel to the Philippines and you cannot wait anymore till the IATF changes their mind na papasukin yung unvax, I would suggest to email Bureau of Quarantine for confirmation na pwede kayong pumasok. I've known Singapore Airlines, Qatar Airways, some of them, they have accepted unvaccinated former Filipinos to their flights. Yun lang. Next up is pre-departure testing. This is, most of you won't have to be tested anymore. This requirement was lifted for the boosted travelers. If you have at least one booster, then you don't need to show a negative test result before traveling to the Philippines. Yes, if may booster ka, hindi na kailangan magpa-test. Now, while if you have teenagers 12 to 17 years old, they only need to be fully vaxxed to be exempted from pre-departure testing. While kiddos 11 to 4 years old, they will follow the status of their parents. So for example, I am a mother traveling with me, my 8 years old kid, I am boosted, exempted from pre-departure testing, then my kid will follow my status. He is also exempted. Ayan. While for 3 years old and below, totally exempted, automatic. Now again, for those who are not boosted adults, ito po, either you can show a negative RT-PCR taken 48 hours within departure or a rapid antigen test taken within 24 hours before departure. Next up is immigration. The big question for Balikbayans. Do we still need to bring our old Filipino passport and birth certificate? I'll answer that question. First and foremost, I want to emphasize that please make sure that your passport is at least 6 months valid before you travel to avoid any hassle. No, much better po if your passport is at least 6 months valid kung mag-travel 6 months or more. While in recognition of your contribution to the Philippines economy and culture, mga former Filipinos and your family are eligible for Balikbayan privilege in which you can stay in the Philippines po for 1 year, visa-free, wala kang gagawin. Ito po ay libre. This is the Balikbayan stamp. You don't have to apply for it. Upon arrival, you will be given automatically. Wala kang gagawin. Walang babayaran. Also, your foreign spouse, well, foreign child traveling with you, also covered. Now, I want to go back to that question. Do we still have to bring that old Filipino passport and birth certificate? Balikbayans do not need to show a return ticket. Pero foreign tourists are still required, even pre-pandemic times, they are required to show a return ticket. So, the advantage of having a old Filipino passport or a birth certificate is that you are entitled to Balikbayan privilege and you do not need to show a return ticket. Yun yung advantage. Now, next thing is One Health Pass. It's an online form that you have to fill out. It's very easy to do po. It's a website and you don't need to download an app. You can do this 2 days before your flight. Or for those who still have to show a negative test result, they can do this after they receive their negative test result. Kung exempted, 2 days. Kung hindi exempted sa test, as soon as you receive the result. Now, registration to One Health Pass takes only 5 to 10 minutes and you will receive a barcode. This barcode will be shown upon check-in and upon arrival. Now, if you want express lane, you have to wait for the QR code which will be sent to your email. So, kung meron ka ng barcode, if you have a barcode already, that's good enough. You're good to go. But if you want express lane, you can check your email. On the day of your departure, it will be sent to you. Kung wala, huwag ka nang ma-stress. Barcode is good enough. One Health Pass is free. There are phishing websites out there na will ask for credit card details. Don't do that. Don't register there. If they ask for credit card details, it means you're in the wrong website. The website to register is onehealthpass.com.ph. Ayan. In summary, guys, if you're a Balikbayan who is boosted, you only need your vaccination proof with your booster shot information, One Health Pass, barcode, or QR code. And then, if you have the old Philippine passport or birth certificate, dalhin mo na lang. If you have it, bring it. If you don't have it, don't stress about it. That's all I can say. Well, for the spouse, a marriage certificate. For the child, a birth certificate. Hindi din strict sila dito. Kahit wala nga, upon arrival, binibigyan pa rin ng Balikbayan privilege. But if you have it, just bring it. It wouldn't hurt. Next up is Balikbayans who are fully vaccinated and no booster, a negative test result, antigen or PCR. And remember, it's not too late to get your booster. And let's say you travel less than a week, regardless of when it was administered, your boosters are recognized and accepted. So it's not too late. Let's say 2 days before your flight, you get your booster shot, then you are exempted from pre-departure testing. It will be recognized agad-agad immediately. It's not like the primary dose that you have to wait 14 days na. Booster shot is recognized immediately. Next up is One Health Pass QR code or barcode. And then, yun lang. Former Philo, old Philippine passport or birth certificate. If you have it. If you don't have it, don't stress. I want to remind those who will be traveling with kids. For example, yung daddy is foreigner and the daddy will be staying in the foreign country and the mother, ikaw lang, at yung anak mo ang magta-travel, please get notary of support or consent. So that is all for Balikbayans. Basically, you need to be fully vaxxed. pre-departure testing, but if you're boosted, exempted, and then 1 health pass. Yun na lang. And if you have the old Filipino passport or birth certificate, just bring it. That's all about travel to the Philippines for Balikbayans. It's so much easier. It's so much simpler now. You will enjoy your time here. There's so much to do. The traveling within the country, very maluwag na po. As in, maluwag na po talaga. Promise. And then, that is all po. If you are unvaccinated, again, please do your research and travel to Cebu if you can. God bless you all and stay safe. If this video was helpful, please leave a like, subscribe if you are not subscribed yet. God bless you. Bye-bye.